Hello everybody and welcome back finally to the AFL here in episode 6, where we are covering the week 11 matchup between the Chicago Rush and the Baltimore Brigade. I know it's been a long time coming, guys, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode and enjoy some arena football. So we start off here 3-0 Chicago as Murray dropping back the pass. He gets hit on the throw, but he gets it to Hall, and Hall will take it to the end zone for the first touchdown of the game. On this next drive, right before the end of the first quarter, Kaleo will respond here by throwing it right to Ingram for another touchdown. This time, Chicago's first. After a 3-and-out by Baltimore, Chicago will get the ball back. Kaleo looking for Ingram once again, and Ingram will get his second receiving touchdown of the night. Murray and Baltimore would try to respond here, dropping back, but Murray would throw it right to Cornelius Bonner for another interception. After Chicago gets a field goal off the interception, Murray tries to drop back, but immediately gets sacked. Now in a 3rd and goal situation, the pressure's on for Murray to score, and he finds Hall in a sliver there, throws it right to him, and he gets into the end zone. Kaleo and company will try to respond back here in enemy territory, throws this one to his main man Ingram for a first down. Then on the next play, Kaleo dropping back, gonna throw it down the field to Jeremy Frizzell, and he gets the touchdown for the Rush. Now down by 2 scores here, Murray throws this one right to Damian Harrell, and Harrell will take it inside the opponent's red zone. Murray on the very next play dropping back, and he's going to find Hall for yet another touchdown. That is their 3rd connected touchdown tonight. Now with the deficit at 6 points, Kaleo looking for Ingram once again, and he will take the ball. He breaks the tackle, and he takes it all the way into the end zone for a touchdown, shoving away 2 tacklers. The Murray and Hall connection continues throughout the 3rd quarter as he gets another touchdown near their 4th touchdown tonight. A 4th down here for Chicago, and they're going to go for it. Kaleo would drop back, but he would get immediately hit, and it would be a turnover on downs. A few plays later, Baltimore would give this one right to Diggs for their first rushing touchdown today and their first lead of the day. Now only down by 1, the sense of urgency is looming to Chicago here in this 4th quarter, but Kaleo and Ingram are just inseparable as they score yet another touchdown together. After a failed 2-point conversion, it is only a 5-point game. Murray would throw this one, but it would get tipped away and then caught by Dozart for the interception.
Get over here. Do you want me to yell at you? Is that what you want? I'm getting tired of it, frankly. Get out of here. Get going. Go.
And then on the very next play, Dozart would finish the job here as he breaks 1 tackle, going down inside the 10-yard line and running this clock down. And then on the next play after that, Kaleo rolling off to the right here, trying to find a wide open receiver, and he does. He finds Jeremy Frizzell once again for a touchdown. With only 20 seconds left here and down by 2 scores, Murray has no choice. He throws it, but it will be right into Bonner's hands. And then now within the game, Chicago wins yet another game here to be up here in the standings, winning this one 47-35 here at home. So now we move on to our next game of week 11 here. We got the New Orleans VooDoo going to be hosting this one against the Jacksonville Sharks. Both of these teams high up here in the South Division and in the National Conference. Let's see who wins this one. So on the first play from scrimmage here, Raymond Filial is going to feel the heat from Grant and take a sack.
Does it hurt? Does it hurt? Now it does.
That sack wouldn't stop Filial from trekking down the field here. He on the 1st and 10 throws this one right to Stevens for the first touchdown of the game. And then Mark Grieve, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league here, throws this one to Robinson for their first score. Filial here on the next drive tries to go for the screen here, but he meets up with Grant once again for another sack.
Don't know where you are, do you, huh? Damn! Told you about it. Don't get up. I'll put you right back.
Feeling like they're still in good field position here, Filial will go for it on 4th down, but it would get tipped away, and that will be a turnover on downs. Grebe and Jackson would take advantage of the field position here as he strolls his way into the end zone, bringing a guy with him. After a Jacksonville field goal, Grebe is looking for the end zone once again, rolls off to the left there, but runs out of time and takes a sack. Grebe and the VooDoo now have a 3rd and 18 here. Grebe throws it down the field to Robinson and gets it down to a goal-to-goal situation. Here on 2nd and goal, they give it right to Jackson so he can get it into the end zone for a touchdown. Now down by 11, Philly all needing to respond here as he finds Burley into the end zone for an easy touchdown. Still time on the clock here for New Orleans to score here as Grebe is going to look back and find Robinson once again for both of their 2nd touchdowns of the night. But in the AFL, scoring too quickly is a thing here. Only 23 seconds left here in this half, and that's way more than enough time for Philly all to connect to Burley once again for another touchdown. Now entering the 3rd quarter up 1 score, Grebe finds a wide open Hubbard for a 45-yard TD. After Jacksonville only gets a field goal, Grebe now with an opportunity to make this a blowout, and Robinson will oblige getting that reception and getting a touchdown. After Jacksonville scores a touchdown, Jackson was not done yet as he takes this one 33 yards into the end zone for a rushing touchdown. After Jacksonville scores a touchdown, Grebe and company tries to put the nail in the coffin. He throws it down the field to Milligan, and the defenders hit each other, and that would end the game for the VooDoo here, winning this one 69-46, scoring a late game touchdown in garbage time here, and now they take complete control of the Southern Division and in the National Conference. And for the Week 11 matchups, Josh Harris has a comeback game here as they scored 24 unanswered in the 4th quarter to win the game 48-42 against Philadelphia. Dallas and Georgia will have a knockdown drag-out battle that would end up in overtime, but Georgia having the edge against Dallas here, winning their game at home 44-38. So Colorado living up to their name as they absolutely crush the New York Dragons here 65-29, now questioning the legitimacy of New York's record. John Dutton and Michael Bishop have a clinic here in Arizona as the Rattlers edge out with a win here against the Cleveland Gladiators 51-40. Rob Fong comes in for a injured John Fitzgerald as he goes and explodes out here with 7 touchdowns en route to a win against San Jose 59-49. Matt DeRazio in the Washington Valor absolutely destroy the Albany Empire 91-34, almost beating a AFL record of 98 points in one game, just a touchdown short. And let's continue on with this episode with Week 12 of the AFL. So now here in Week 12, we go to San Jose to see the SaberCats taking on the Cleveland Gladiators. So the SaberCats get the ball here to start off the drive. Adrian McPherson rolling off to the right here, tries to throw it, but then we get picked off by Gary for a momentum swinging interception. And Michael Bishop will waste no time here as he gives the ball to Jenkins for their first touchdown of the night. McPherson and the SaberCats will respond here as he gets a nice 15-yard touchdown pass tonight. Bishop here facing pressure, still ending up throwing it here to Jenkins for the quick touchdown. So after a SaberCats field goal, Bishop would give this one to Ford, and Ford would run it 9 yards into the end zone while breaking tackles for a touchdown. The SaberCats now down by 11. McPherson dropping back down, looking to the right, and he's going to find Hobsons for a 35-yard bomb into the end zone. The SaberCats still up by 11 here. Bishop will make it even worse here as he throws another touchdown to Shelley to make it a 17-point game. We enter the second half here with Cleveland with a comfortable lead here, but Bishop makes a crucial mistake, throwing the interception to Jenkins.
That's it. Way to go. Good job.
A play later, Dukes will walk into the end zone for a 6-yard touchdown run. Chad Dukes would not be finished making plays here as he intercepts the ball from Bishop right at the line of scrimmage there for a great interception. McPherson trying to mitigate the deficit here after the interception, throws this nice touchdown pass to Thompson. After the Cleveland touchdown here, the SaberCats are trying to strike back. McPherson going to roll off to the right and tries to throw it to Thompson, but he meets up with Shaw with the interception. And Bishop will not let this turnover go to waste here as he throws a 44-yard bomb right to Pettis to increase their lead. So now the score 49-37, and Bishop will be injured here, but that will be no problem for Mays as he throws a bomb to Jenkins and he gets the touchdown. San Jose not saying quit yet, as McPherson will roll off to the right on this pass and throw it deep to Thompson, where he can get separation for the touchdown.
I'm the greatest, I'm the best that's ever been, I'm the best that will be. You know it. That's what I'm talking about.
So no choice for San Jose here, and they're going to kick the onside kick, but they will get picked up by Williams and the Gladiators. And Cleveland will put the icing on the cake here, as they would give this one to Fuller, and Fuller will get it into the end zone for a touchdown, leaving the game here, winning this one 70-44, and Cleveland getting their 5th win of the season.
Thank you for attending today's ball game.
So now we move on here to Dallas, as we see the Desperados taking on the VooDoo, trying to bounce back after a loss last week. So Mark Green starts off these games like the VooDoo usually does, with a passing touchdown to his main man Robinson. So Cumbie coming in for an injured Kelly this time. Remember, he's out for 5 weeks, and he's going to throw a touchdown to Hammond. Missed a pass interference penalty, but he gets the score anyway. So after a few scores, now Dallas is down by 11, but Cumbie would throw this one right to Bryant for a touchdown, but not before he takes his licks in the end zone. So the score is now 31-20 here in this third quarter. Cumbie trying to get a screenplay, but Jackson comes in with the leaping interception. That was incredible. And after the incredible INT by Jackson, the Grebe and Robinson connection continues in this episode for their 6th touchdown of this episode.
Yeah, this is all mine. My field, my house, my ball.
Cumbie and the Desperados down by 3 scores here, has to give it to somebody, and he gives it to Ivy off the wide receiver screen as he high steps his way into the end zone. Cumbie and the Desperados still down here by a lot, but there's still no quit in him, as he gives this one to Bryant, and Bryant will take this one all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. Grebe and the VooDoo back in enemy territory as usual, this time giving it to Jackson, and he dives in the end zone for a 10-yard touchdown run.
I'm the greatest, I'm the best that's ever been, I'm the best that will be. You know it. That's what I'm talking about.
So the Desperados going back on the field to try to respond here, but Cumbie would throw this right in front of Horix's hands, and he would get the interception. And the VooDoo and Jackson is not done yet, making spectacular plays as he gets into the end zone for yet another rushing touchdown. Now down 65-41, Cumbie has to figure out a way to get this ball off, and he does, gives it to Ivy, and he will take this one 41 yards into the end zone. Now going to go for 2. So Cumbie drops back, and he's going to find Ivy wide open for the 2-point conversion. Now they're going to have to try to get the onside kick. So here comes Burns with the kick. He does not get a favorable bounce, not even a bounce at all, as the recovery team takes it. And the New Orleans VooDoo will win this one 68-49, even putting them now in a higher position here in the standings, and now even looking like one of the best teams in the league. And for our Week 12 scores, we got Baltimore losing to Philadelphia 58-44 as Duke Pettijohn and Matt Nagy get it done in Baltimore. John Dutton and the Arizona Rattlers get it done and hold on to a win here 52-45 against Iowa and Des Moines. Joe Hamilton's Toronto Phantoms just nearly avoid a comeback victory against Chicago, but they still hold on 56-50. And now they are 5-6 on the season after having a horrible 0-4 start. Matt DeRazio scores an impressive 17 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, edging out a win against Colorado 56-42 to put them 8-2 in the standings, and now they are the #1 seed in the American Conference. For the final matchup, the Jacksonville Sharks barely edge out the Los Angeles Kiss 61-58 as Raymond Filial scores 7 touchdowns en route to a win, now putting them at 7-4 and keeping themselves up here in the American South. Now let's get into our last week of this episode, Week 13. Matt DeRazio and the Washington Valor have becoming one of the best teams in the league here at 8-2. But can they come into New York and beat the Dragons and Aaron Garcia here tonight? So Aaron Garcia here on a 2nd and long feels the pressure. It gets intercepted by Fleming, but he doesn't hold the ball on for long at all. But Kelly, his teammate, gets the recovery and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown, an incredible sequence. after a Dragons field goal, D'Orazio would give this one to Avery, and Avery would smoothly get into the end zone and dives for a 10-yard touchdown run. So the score now 14-9 here after a few drives, and Matt D'Orazio throwing a beamer right to Casper, showing you why he's the MVP frontrunner. So the Dragons really needed a surge here, down by 12. Garcia tries to throw the ball, but it gets fumbled and gets picked up by the defense. D'Orazio and Navala trying to take advantage of the fumble here, rolls off to the right, finds Casper open, but he is just out of bounds, and they will have to settle for 3. The kick by Gispert is good, and now Navala extend their lead by 15. So the Dragons desperately need to score here, or they're going to be in fear of getting blown out here. But Garcia would throw it right down the middle of the linebacker box for an INT, which would lead D'Orazio throwing this touchdown right to Hawkins to increase their lead. So the Dragons back at the saddle now, down by a whopping 22 points here, as Bergeron takes a mean hit and he would be injured on his elbow and he would be out for the game. We're going to get the injury report at the end of the episode. But New York finally making it down into the enemy territory, and Glover would take this for a 1-yard TD run. But Matt D'Orazio and his Washington machine will not be stopping here as he throws another 20-yard touchdown pass to Hawkins. New York here trying to score before halftime. Garcia throws a floater to De Matteo, and he's wide open for the score. The Dragons still down by a bunch here in the second quarter, but Garcia gets this nice pass to Shepard for about 25 yards.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
So the Dragons with a little bit of momentum from that first down here. Garcia finds De Matteo once again for another receiving touchdown. But Navala and D'Orazio do not care about those New York Dragons touchdowns here, as he throws this one right to Frederick for yet another touchdown. So now the Dragons deep into their own territory here. Garcia is going to throw a floater to his receiver, McKenzie. McKenzie seemingly looking like he's going to go into the end zone. He fumbles the ball there by Moten, who gets the trip-up tackle, and they get the ball back. They would only end up getting 3 points off this one, but it has to be a dampener on New York here. But Garcia and New York will not give up without a fight here, as Garcia throws a 40-yard bomb right to Shepard for another touchdown. So the Dragons here are going to go for the onside kick and go and kiss this one, but it will get immediately picked up by Jacobs, and the Washington Valor will win this one convincingly as they win this one 58-37, a 21-point win. For our last matchup of the day here, we travel to Georgia here as we see two 5-5 teams facing off against each other, as the Philadelphia Soul travel down here to Atlanta to take on the Georgia Force. So Georgia starts off their drive already down by 7, but Hamill finds a wide open Hunden for a touchdown, but it would sadly get called back for holding.
Come on, people. Ref, what are you doing out there?
Get back to the sideline.
Like that?
Go back.
Are you a comedian? I mean, are you making a joke because it's a bad joke? A bad joke? Come on, give me a break.
The callback touchdown is not a problem for Hamill here, as he finds Dudley wide open for a touchdown to tie the game up here at 7. So on Philly's next drive, Matt Nagy gets completely pummeled by the nose tackle, and Cleveland scoops up the fumble for a touchdown. The momentum shifts back in Philly's favor here as Nickerson gets this ball off the net, breaks a tackle, hurdling over Johnson at the 15-yard line, making a juke and making a touchdown out of it somehow, some way.
Oh yeah, boom! That's what I'm talking about. Shut up.
But the kick return for touchdown doesn't faze Georgia at all here, as Todd Hamill throws this one right to Antoine Savage for a 25-yard touchdown. In Philadelphia's next possession, Matt Nagy making yet another crucial mistake here as he throws this ball right to Dudley as he was crossing right into his direction. Philadelphia's defense holds here, but Taylor kicks this one right out of the stadium, making it a 10-point game. Instead of kicking their own field goal, Philadelphia is going to try to go for it on 4th down, but a short passing play makes that impossible, and Georgia will get the ball back. So now Georgia driving down the field, trying to make this a 3-score game here, as Hamill throws this one right to Dudley for a big first down. And then a couple plays later here on 2nd and goal, Carter would get the 3-yard toss play touchdown. Now by 17 here, Hamill and the Georgia Force get the ball back here in the second half, and they do not waste time here as it gets an end zone touchdown to Savage. So the Soul finally get into scoring range here as Nagy tosses this one to Pettijohn into the end zone, but there will be a holding call sending this one back.
Sounds good to me.
So instead, Spence would kick the easy field goal attempt, or seemingly easy, as he barely crosses it to make it a 21-point game. But Georgia's not done yet here. Hamill throwing this one right to Burks for another touchdown, increasing their lead to 4 scores. So stopping Philadelphia once again, Hamill will make his first mistake of the day, throwing this one right to Hamlin for the interception.
Hey, Coach, what's up?
Hey, we need to pounce on this opportunity. We got the ball.
Now here, down by 4 scores, Nagy's gonna have to make a play. He throws it underhanded right to Nickerson at the corner to score a touchdown. Hamill's connection to Savage was unmatched here as he puts the nail in the coffin here, throwing this one right to him as he dives into the end zone for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. How you like me now? Step to the left, step to the right.
The game ends here with a decisive victory by the Georgia Force, 65-31 here, as the Georgia Force advances over 500 and puts Philadelphia under 500 at 5-6. Now let's go and see our stats and standings for week 13. So for week 13, we got the LA Kiss beating out the Arizona Rattlers 49-37, putting Arizona back at 500. Shane Stafford and the Preds destroy and dismantle the San Jose SaberCats 62-34 at home. John Kaleo and the Chicago Rush have a fantastic second half as they shut out Iowa basically 54-42, only getting 7 points there in the second half. Michael Bishop and the Cleveland Gladiators take care of business in Cleveland as they take out the Albany Empire 61-34. Graziani has another record night as he scores 9 touchdowns in a 63-39 win against Baltimore. Mark Grebe and the VooDoo continue their winning ways as they beat Josh Harris and the Tampa Bay Storm 58-34 and go 9-3 on the season. And finally, the Dallas Desperados outlast the Jacksonville Sharks 51-44, with Wes Ayers getting a game-winning rushing touchdown in overtime. Now let's get right into the injury report and the stats. For the National Conference, we got a lot of South contenders here. The VooDoo in the lead here at 9-3. The Predators are at 8-3. The Dragons are at 7-4. The Sharks are at 7-5. The Force have fought their way back up as well at 6-5. The Soul and the Phantoms are at 5-6. The Desperados are at 5-7, and the Storm are dead last with 4-7. In the American Conference, the lone leader in first place is the 9-2 Washington Valley. And can you believe that some of these teams are even going to make it in the playoffs here in the American Conference, with some of these competitive teams not even going to make it in the National Conference? But we got a 4-way tie for basically second place here, with the Rattlers at 6-6. The Gladiators, Crush, and Rush all the same at 6-6. 5-7 are the San Jose SaberCats. The Empire, the Barnstormers, and the Kiss are all at 4-7, and the Brigade are at a lonely 3-9. And here are our quarterback stats. Our ratings leaders are the ones with the least amount of interceptions. Of course, Shane Stafford has had an amazing year. Right now in first place. Aaron Garcia, even though they've lost I believe 2 straight games, they are now 7-3 right now, 7-3 or 7-4. They're doing well, and it's all because of Aaron Garcia. The 36-year-old has 51 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, along with Mark Grebe, who has control in the South as well, 52 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Andy Kelly still injured, but he comes back probably by the end of episode 7 with 50 touchdowns and 7 picks. And then you got John Kaleo with 56 touchdowns, 5 picks. Our leaders in yards, of course, John Dutton still holding it strong with the yards and the touchdowns at 62. And he's the first quarterback with over 3,000 yards this season with 15 picks. Our rushing leaders, Marleon Jackson, right now, 250 yards, 18 touchdowns. I believe he leads the league in touchdowns as well. He's had a great episode here with a lot of rushing touchdowns, and we got a lot of guys who are at 10 touchdowns as well. And then we got Chris Ryan right behind him at 12, and then we got Lonnie Ford in second place with 240 yards, and Chad Dukes with 236 yards. And then our last guy with 200 yards is Chris Avery. Our receiving leaders, of course, Tony Locke right with John Dutton there. He is the first wide receiver, I believe, with 30 touchdowns. And yes, he is. He's the league leader in touchdowns, and I believe he's the league leader in yards and in receptions. Right now, he is bouting for that triple crown. Right behind him is Jarrell Myers in yards, and right behind Tony Locke is Troy Bergeron, who just got injured this week. and we're going to be checking out the injury report next after the stats. But he has 24 touchdowns and 1,100 yards himself. And then right behind them is Aaron Bailey. He has 1,100 yards and 22 touchdowns. Tying Diallo Burks in tackles is Etu Molden with 78 tackles each. Right behind him is Joe Douglas. He has 77 tackles. Our tackles for loss leader is once again Joe Jacobs, and I believe he is still the leader in sacks. No, he is not. Ernest Grant has now overtaken him in sacks by 1 sack, 8 sacks this season. Very, very impressive, especially here in the AFL. And our interceptions leader is Cornelius Bonner with 9 picks. Man, he's doing these offenses dirty with 9 picks. And then right behind him is Corey Fleming and the aforementioned Mike Horacek. We've heard about him before this season. And for our injury report, we got some new faces here in the injury report, unfortunately. Let's take a look here. We got Rupp here. He injured during this episode. He got a broken fibula, the first of many this season. One of many this season. He's out for 6 weeks. We won't see him until the end of the season. Blaylock recovering from an injury. Andy Kelly recovering from an injury, and they definitely need him this season. We got Bergeron. Now, he's probably one of the most notable ones here with a dislocated elbow. He's going to be out for 8 weeks in the week 13. So we won't see him until probably like the divisional round if he comes back, or even at the championship round if he comes back, if they make it that far without him. He was the leader, and he was one of the leaders on his team in touchdowns and in yards. He's been the main guy this season. A lot of other guys here. Gerald Brown, he got a strain back this episode, so he's going to be out for 5 weeks. We won't see him until the end of the season. Sylvester Little is coming back from a strain back probably like 2 episodes ago. Mo Thomas coming from a torn bicep. I believe that was one of the first injuries we got this season, so he is doubtful. So maybe he'll come back in a couple weeks or 3. And then Dennis is our last guy with a hip pointer, so he's going to be out for 2 weeks. So that is it for episode 6. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. There's a lot more content on the way as we go near the end of the season here for episode 7. And then I believe in episode 8, we should be getting towards the playoffs. So hopefully you guys are just as excited as I am for that. And more BFL content on the way, more AFL content on the way. So just stay tuned, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next video.